Good morning. Today we're going to read Chapter 7 in Hound Dog True. There are teachers at the school today. Maddie did not think there would be. Not yet, anyway. Thought maybe teachers would show up when school started next week. Thought she and Uncle Potluck would have Mitchell P. Anderson Elementary to themselves. The teachers stopped by authorized personnel, asking about Uncle Potluck's summer, and laughing when he tells them about the prize-winning fish he caught in the backyard puddle, or how in July he had visited a barbecue joint in Franklin County and met the Queen of England. Dainty little thing, the Queen, ate spare ribs with her gloves on. Hound Dog True. Some of the teachers tell stories, though most tell them skinny and pale, finishing quick so Uncle Potluck will have time to tell another. Some of them talk about janitorial issues, classroom windows that won't budge, and furniture that needs moving. Maddie writes those down in her notebook, filling a whole page up with things that needs doing. And who is this? The teachers ask. Maddie keeps her face to the notebook page, but she knows they mean her. This is my niece, Maddie May. She'll be starting in Paula's class next week. And they all say, welcome, and too bad Paula won't be here till Friday. And it's nice to meet you. And Maddie says thank you. They favor sneakers. The teachers do. Most of them wearing white ones with blue or pink trim. One teacher, a man, wears flip-flops. Every teacher who stops by says how lucky Uncle Potluck is to have a helper. And every time he says they're right. Then a pair of high heels clicks up to the authorized personnel doorway. I see you're a writer. Maddie's heart thumps. How does she know? And not anymore, at the same time. I used to carry a notebook when I was your age. I wrote a lot of stories in it. Maddie May, this is Principal Bonnet. Maddie waits for Uncle Potluck to say more, but he doesn't. We are very glad you'll be joining us this year, Maddie. I tried to have lunch with each of our new students. Maybe you could read me some of your stories. Maddie shakes her head. I don't have stories. Principal Bonnet doesn't say, speak up, louder, or come again. She just stands there a while, like Maddie's words are taking their time getting over to her. She imagines that, Maddie does, a picture so strong she looks up to check, half expecting to see her words floating cloud-like in the air. Principal Bonnet is shorter than she looks in the principal portrait. In the picture, her eyes are crinkled edge and one of her hands is resting under her chin. But now both of her hands are cupped in front of her and filled with doorknobs. Robert, the painters took these off. But please don't forget to put them back on. Could you? Robert is Uncle Potluck. Maddie takes a second to remember. Yes, when would be convenient? He sounds funny, and Maddie turns to look at him. He's standing, formal, his hat wheeling in his hands. Anytime, it's not urgent. Though, if you prefer to work without me getting in your way, you could try Thursday. I'll be in a staff meeting in the morning, and the office will be empty. Thursday morning. Uncle Potluck does not laugh or say that Thursdays are usually when he trains circus lions. He just says, Thursday morning. Principal Bonnet clicks inside authorized personnel just far enough to hand Uncle Potluck the doorknobs. He has to put his hat on before he can take them, and he does real quick, landing it sideways. He'd like to adjust it, Maddie thinks, but he can't with his hands full of doorknobs. I look forward to our lunch, Maddie, stories or not, Principal Bonnet says, and away she clicks down the hall. It is strange quiet in authorized personnel. Like, rather than leaving doorknobs, Principal Bonnet took something with her when she left. Uncle Potluck drops the doorknobs onto his desk. Sits the Director of Custodial Arts chair squeaking under him. So. Distracting day, this one. Makes it difficult for a man of janitorial disposition to concentrate on the multitude of tasks at hand. What will I do about it? Maddie checks her notebook. Third grade window? She says. You've been taking notes? Maddie nods. May I see? Mama has asked to see Maddie's old yellow notebook once, but had turned her mind into something else before Maddie could show it to her. She hadn't shown it to Mrs. Angelo either. Star had read it, but Maddie had never shown it to anyone. Maddie sets her janitorial notebook on the desk, turns to Uncle Potluck so he can see the list of things that needs doing. And he looks so pleased. She shows him the other pages too. Notes about toilets and fire alarms and how many classrooms are in the school. Shows him a page she wrote while he was checking his email about how the whole school was dark silent this morning until Uncle Potluck jingled his keys indoors and flipped on lights. How he checked all the hallways and warmed them up, singing about eloquence escaping and da-do-do-do. And even when his traitorous knee, dancing a few steps in each hall. Maddie does not show him the front page, the one where she has written Maddie Breen, custodial apprentice underneath. Not yet. Uncle Potluck rubs his chin. I shall have to watch myself now that I know you are recording our custodial endeavors for posterity. What is posterity? Maddie asked. Uncle Potluck pulls a dictionary off a shelf marked wisdom and hands it to her. Posterity is future generations. Maddie looks up custodial too. It doesn't say anything about doorknobs or mopping or leaky pipes. It says this: care or supervision rather than efforts to cure, and guarding or maintaining. Maddie likes the idea of caring for the school, of guarding it and making it safe. Uncle Potluck picks up the toolbox. You coming, Maddie May? Just a second. Doorknobs, she writes. Thursday. Safe and square. End of chapter.